Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chem 243. I'm often asked the question, what goes into a full lab report? And here we go. What goes into a full lab report for Chem 243? We're going to start with the syllabus. Syllabus is found in section 1 at Moodle. Here's the syllabus. I'm going to go down to page 7 where our table that we use. Whoa, I didn't want that to happen. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. There's our table of things we do every week. Right after that, here's the outline of before, during, and after lab, but we're going to focus only on full lab reports. I'm going to copy these two items from the bottom of page 8. They're critical. There they are. I mean, we could end the video right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give you more details. All right. So take it from the top. Where do we find a report form? We're going to find it and we're going to put it on this next page over here. Report forms, going back to Moodle. Back to Moodle. Moodle's here, closing some stuff. Not section 1. Section 3. Section 4, report forms. We won't talk about emails yet. Report forms for Chem 243 experiments. These are cover pages for lab reports. Here's experiment 1's cover page. And I'm going to snip it. It's an old document. I don't even have the original anymore. And we're going to take it and we're going to put it on our starboard. So you have access to report forms. We'll come back to this later. Okay, so you're going to fill out all those things, and we learn how to fill those out in lab. Answers to all relevant questions, see below for sources of questions. Syllabus preparation data table. Okay, I'm going to go to the syllabus. We have it open over here. Data table, page 7. I'm just going to copy the experiment 1 stuff right here. We got our snippy. Yeah. No, I missed. There we go. And moving on over to starboard. See if I can squeeze it in over here. Doesn't have to be so big. All right. So I want my pen. There we go. Answers to all relevant questions. Syllabus preparation data table, page 7. It's got 3 questions right there. Where else might we have questions? Report forms. Okay. I'm going to go back to the report form and snip a little piece of it down here, but it's not very clear on that other screen. There. Yeah. Okay, down here. Read this. It's off the report form. Sometimes it'll be just questions on the report form. Sometimes it will tell you on the report form where there's other questions. Here we go. I'm going to snip this down here. Shrink it down. So we got this from the report form. It says, don't forget to answer all questions regarding melting point, boiling point, and refractive index encountered during the text's description of experiment 1. All right, we'll circle that in blue. It's off of a report form. Here we go. And it's gone here. Okay, I've got a part of our textbook over on another page over here. Here is a page from the textbook. Doesn't matter which version. This is the reading during experiment 1. You're assigned this reading. So right away, I see in this reading 2 questions based on boiling point. I'm going to circle them in green. I don't know why that happened. Oh, okay. Because I'm in the wrong spot, that's why. Where's my PDF? I can't circle them in green. I got to snip them first. I got this straight out of the textbook. These are just example questions. We got those. There's more. I'm going to go back over here. I'm trying. Here we go. It's in green. Notes page, and this one was from the textbook. I'm going to put the exclamation point because that's where we figured out it had to come from there. And on the notes, it reminded us to go to the text. So over here, a bit of a lag here, aren't we? I'm circling that in green because that's where it said to go to the textbook. Okay. All right, there's several questions. You want to see some other ones while here? I'm not going to bring them over. They're in the textbook. We have another page on this document. I thought we did page 2 of 2, page 1 of 2. There's some more here. Why is a second seal required on the evacuated melting point tube? There's a question. Please answer it. Okay. Anything related to, I will make sure it's clear. Anything related to, okay, it's going to go to the next page, I think. For experiment 1, put it with the green stuff. MP stands for melting point. BP stands for boiling point. Scripted N is eta. It's a Greek letter. It stands for refractive index. And those are the only things we're doing in experiment 1. So please don't answer all the questions, just those related to melting point, boiling point, and refractive index. Thank you. That's notes pages. Okay, notes told you to. That wasn't even a notes page. That was from a report form. That should be blue. My apologies. That should be blue. The report form told you to go to the text. We're only doing it for those topics. Notes pages we'll put in purple. Let's go see if we can find notes pages questions. Where do we have notes pages? They're at Moodle. Notes pages. They're not here. We're not here. We're going back. Report forms. Notes. First document has questions for, I think, almost every experiment. Don't skip these. Students have done that. It can cost you up to a half letter grade. So these are useful notes for you to understand the experiments, and they also have occasionally questions. Here they are. I'm not copying them all, or else you'll just say, oh, I'm just going to use what he posted in the video. I'll copy the first one so you know they're there. It's from the notes pages. Here it comes. I'm going to squeeze it down here. There we go. Make this arrow bigger. There. Okay. Now, email questions. This is the easiest one. You can't mess up on email questions. You don't have email question for experiment 1. I will just briefly show you where the email questions are. I got Zoom stuff in the way. Email questions are not there, then, oh boy. I gotta start opening things in new tabs. Email questions have their own section. Email questions, they're not even done by email anymore. There you go. Here's the email questions for experiments 3 and 4. You open it, look at it. You have a student number that you have to use. I gave it to you in class. Okay, there's a video for solving that one. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that because we have discussed almost what's all in a full lab. Let's make sure. We're going back over here. Report form was the cover page. We got a report form here. And there we go. We got it from the report form area at Moodle. We have answers to all relevant questions. You got in experiment 1, 3 sources of questions. Syllabus, data table, report form has a reminder there's questions in the textbook you have to answer that aren't these red ones. In the notes pages, look in the notes page. There's 2 of them. 2 questions. There might be more. Please read all of the notes. Any questions asked there are due. Email starts with experiment 3. What else goes in there? Copy pages from your lab notebook. Okay, so you did a data table. You put it in your notebook for experiment 1, like you were told. Say, okay, I don't know what data table he's talking about. Sample notebook setup has a data table. Experiment 1, okay. This setup is just to be copied into your notebook. You get all of the future experiment setups right from the textbook. Only in experiment 1 did they not do this for you already. Okay, so here we copied this in our notebook. This is going to be submitted as part of your lab report. You're going to have these all filled out. Okay. Okay. And then we're going back to Starboard here. Copies of the notebook. All right. What else in the notebook? Your procedure. Experiment 1 procedure. A melting point was taken for a seed annulid and the result was as follows. You'll see samples for that too if you look around Moodle. It's got the procedure done for you already. Don't believe me? Here it is. Experiment 1 procedure, same document as that table. You're going to copy this into your notebook. Microscale melting points were taken for these chemicals. You write down your unknown number and formula. It was given to you in class. The results are summarized in the data table above. That's the one you got here, experimental values. Nice. Okay, then you're going to say microscale boiling points were taken. Microscale refractive indexes were taken. So it's a very short procedure this time because these are all standard procedures. As soon as you say microscale melting point, I know all the steps you did. You loaded a capillary with less than a centimeter of solid. You put it in the machine. You heated it up at 5 degrees Celsius per minute. When you got closer, you heated it up at 2 to 3 degrees Celsius per minute. Then you recorded the start and the end of the melting point. Everything I just said was covered in this sentence. You don't have to say how to do a microscale melting point or a boiling point, which you will learn very shortly. So far, so good. All right. So lab notebook. You're also going to have at the end of that, you're going to have your partner's signature and my signature. And that gets put in your report. If you do infrared spectra, you're going to put it there with a report form. Those don't start till the second half of the semester when we do infrared spectra. So I hope you know what we have to do for our first lab. And I look forward to seeing you again in lab very soon. Adios.